and welcome to my first video. So a few days ago I've asked you on Instagram if you wanted to see a video about my whole TopModelBelgium adventure and you said yes, so here it is. But before we start, I want to say that I'm actually going to make two videos. This one will be about the whole contest and the other one will be about everything what happened after TopModelBelgium, and let's go. So before TopModelBelgium I didn't have any modeling experience, but I love to take photos and I love to watch the Victoria's Secret's fashion shows and Germany's Next Top Model. My sister knew about that, and one day she saw a publicity on Facebook for TopModelBelgium and she asked me if I wanted to do that, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I'm not tall enough and I don't know how it works. And she said, yeah, but if you don't try it, you'll never know. So that's why I did. We took some pictures, she filled in the inscription papers and we sent it to TopModelBelgium. I think that was at the end of August 2017, and beginning September I received a letter which explained that I was chosen for the semi-final and that we're going to have a shooting and a few repetitions before the semi-final. We had the shooting at the end of October and it was for our modeling map, and I was pretty excited because it was my first shooting with professional photographers and I was a little bit nervous, but at the end the photos were pretty good and it was super fun and I liked it. In November we had our first repetition and we were put in different categories. So there were already a category for top man and top woman. Those were people who were older than 25. And then we had also the mannequins and the model photos. For the girls, everyone who was above 168 was put in the mannequin category, and everyone who was under 168 was put in the model photo category. I am 170, so I went in the mannequin category. For the boys, I don't know exactly how tall you had to be, so don't ask me. Then we started the actual repetition and it was my first time I was wearing heels in my life because, like, I was 15, I've never put some heels on, I was always in sneakers and stuff, and it was horrible. I don't want to talk about it. Like, I couldn't walk, I simply couldn't walk. I was like a chicken in heels, you know, I couldn't walk. So what I did after the repetitions at home is that I've put on the heels and I simply walked around just to improve my walking and just to start feel comfortable in those heels because yeah, like I said, I couldn't walk. Then in February the SMS voting started and the votings could help to win the public award, and that was the time where I had to make everything like public. Like, I've kept everything pretty secret till February just because I don't like people sneaking around and minding my business, so I didn't tell anyone till February, just my family knew about it. And also because I've grown up in a village where everyone talks about everyone and I didn't want that somebody start talking like bad about me. Then in March were the semi-final, and actually I was more stressed during the semi-final than in the final afterwards because it was the first time I was walking in front of a jury and I still couldn't walk like perfectly in heels, so I was really nervous about that. So we had 3 walks, one in fashion wear, the other one in swimwear, and the last one was in a dress. So after the first walk I nearly fell in front of the jury, and when I went backstage I was like, nah Lisa, you're not going to Paris. Then my sister texted me that she saw it, but I still had 2 more walks to do and that I simply should do my best, and that's what I did. After the 3rd walk, instead of going backstage, we waited on the stage for the results, and then the jury was starting to tell the numbers who were going to Paris. And I was preparing myself mentally that my number wouldn't be said, so I waited, but all of a sudden they said number 39. And then I heard my big brother screaming. I looked at the places where they were sitting, and all my family was super excited and happy, and I was like shocked because I didn't expect to go to Paris, honestly. So after that we went and took my finalist certificate and went home. So in May we had again a shooting for the flyers and posters, and I felt more comfortable this time because our hair and makeup was done professionally and I simply felt like a real model. Then after the shooting we had kind of a break. In October then we had again a repetition. We received our flyers and posters, and they made again a new category. So they introduced the junior category for the girl mannequins and girl model photos. And I was put in the junior category because I was 16 during the final, and in my category we were 22. Then we had again one repetition in November, and from January 2019 we had a repetition every weekend, so every weekend I had to go to Mons. I still couldn't walk perfectly, so my sister asked if it was possible to have a coach or something like that to teach me, because yeah, I wanted to improve myself, I wanted to be ready for the final. Then they gave us David Stammer, and David is a coach from Brussels. So then during 3 weeks, in the middle of the week, I had to go to Brussels just to be coached. And it was really stressful because I am going to school on the other side of Belgium. So in the middle of the week after school, I had to take the train, go to Brussels, have this personal coaching till midnight, and the next morning taking again the train at 5 AM just to go back to school. Besides that, I had schoolwork to do, I had to go to the gym, and during the weekends I had the repetitions for TopModelBelgium. Then came the big weekend, but the lucky person I am, I was sick. I had fever, I had headache, I had stomach pain, I simply felt really ill. So on Saturday at 6 AM we were in Mons and we were waiting for our buses. And that was the moment when I've met Thaisa. For those who don't know, Thaisa won TopModelBelgium 2018, and I know her from our common friend Nina. So she recognized me, she came towards me and we talked a little bit, and she really cheered me up and said that I simply should enjoy it this weekend, and I tried to enjoy it from this moment on. Then we arrived in Paris at 10 AM and went straight to the repetition. We were in the Lido de Paris and it was super cold there, and being sick in a cold hall during the whole day, I was even more sick in the evening afterwards. In the evening we had our dinner on the Bateau Mouche, and I think it was my worst time during the whole weekend. Because, yeah, like I said, after spending the whole day in a cold hall being sick, I was even more sick in the evening, and being sick on a boat with fever near a heating, it was horrible. It was just horrible. I felt like I'm gonna throw up like at any moment. My sister and brother said that, and they were pretty sad because yeah, if I would be like that during the final, I don't have any chance to win. But then the party started. I saw Thaisa, she was dancing, she took me by the hand and I started dancing with her, and afterwards I forgot like that I was ill. Thaisa is a person you can't be sad or feel bad around her. She simply gave her positivity to you, and that's what I love the most about her, I think. The next day we had breakfast and we had immediately to go to do our hair and makeup. My category was the last one for the hair and makeup, and we were already a little bit late. Then it was also the day where the Gilets jaunes were on the Champs-Élysées, so he stopped in front of the Arc de Triomphe and we had to enter the Lido from the back. So we had to walk through the streets in heels and little skirts, and our hair wasn't still done, so we had like those bigoodies in the hair and people were staring at us and we were just like, yeah, hi, we're the finalists of Top Model Belgium. But thankfully we arrived safely in Toledo, so I had to change immediately. They did my hair and I had to walk in front of the jury. Then I started to feel nervous because there were stars sitting in the jury like Adriana Carambeu and Iris Bitnar, but Thaisa kept saying me that those people were normal people just like us, and I simply should do my best, and that's what I did. The first walk went pretty good. Iris Bitnar smiled at me, and after that I was more confident about myself. So I went and changed again for our second walk. We were already lined up for the second walk and I started to feel that I was going to throw up. And I started panicking and I didn't knew what to do because I didn't saw anywhere somewhere where I can throw up. I ran to the other end of the backstage, threw up and came back again. Thankfully I was number 14, so I was in the middle, and just as I arrived it was my turn to go on stage, so I arrived and they pushed me on the stage. I walked, I went back, and after that I simply wanted to go home and to sleep because I was super exhausted and I felt like horrible. After that we had to change and to go on stage for the results, and I started to feel nervous because in a few moments it would be over and yeah, I would miss it. And then they started to say the winners, and when they said number 14 and my name for the junior girl mannequins, I simply couldn't believe my ears. And then I heard my brother screaming and I looked at him and my sister was crying and I was like, oh my god, I really won, I made it. All the hard work paid off, and I didn't only won the contest, I also won self-confidence and a new friend, and I made my parents proud and my siblings proud, and it was like just the best feeling I've ever had. So Vicky and Ros, if you're seeing this, I just want to say thank you again to you, because without you I couldn't have done that. And also thank you for managing my diva moods. And I also want to thank those persons who supported me from the beginning and who are still supporting me. It simply means a lot to me, and just a big thank you. This is the end of the video and part 2 is coming soon.